What's good, Bulls fans and Horniacs, and welcome back to another edition to the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts, Dan Gracey, Scott Berman, and Sal-Bass. I totally scrambled that intro up today. No worries. Fellas, what is going on today?
Scott, you want to start or you want me to start? Okay, I'll start. Well, recent news for the Bulls. I know that you and Q already covered this, but we made a trade.
Yay.
It seems like everyone is 50-50 on the trade. Because it was Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. Straight up, no picks, nothing. The only thing I don't like about the whole trade is that we didn't get a pick just because Oklahoma has so many picks. Like, I was shocked that we couldn't get one of them. And yeah, I don't think this is the end of the trading that the Bulls are going to be doing.
Yeah. Scott, how have you been, man?
Fine. Hanging out.
Oh, yeah, adequate.
Yeah.
Scott, how's your bags league going?
We're surprisingly in first place.
Nice.
But
Why surprisingly?
because I was terrible last year, and somehow I did, like, a couple of my coworkers like showed me how to play better, and it actually worked. But
isn't it all just hand-eye coordination?
kind of. You just need to know. You
You
just
just lack hand-eye coordination?
no. The boards were super slippery, so you have to learn how to or figure out how to throw to make it stick,
Oh, like backspin
or like where to throw so it slides in the hole. So
That's what
Kind
she
of.
said.
giggity.
yeah. But 2 weeks ago they did a Hawaiian shirt night,
Ooh.
Oh,
and we went 9-0. So you play 3 series against three different teams. We won all of them, and we beat the first place team 3-0. So we wore the same Hawaiian shirts. I did not wash it. It was hot as shit. So I wore the same Hawaiian shirt.
Scott's over here rocking
Last
a Hawaiian
week-
shirt with the pit stains.
Yeah. Last week wore the same Hawaiian shirt. Also 96 degrees, fucking hot as shit,
Yeah.
sweating through it. We also went 9-0 and beat the defending champions, one of the series. So I think we're just gonna have to keep rocking these sweaty
it
ass,
sounds like
smelly
it.
Hawaiian shirts.
Sounds
Luckily, it's
washed.
outside.
Yeah.
So
Did you wear that
What's
blue
your-
one? The only one I seen you is that blue one.
no, I have a pineapple one that I got from
Ooh.
Amazon for $15.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
What's your team name?
With holes wide open.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. With holes wide
Love it.
open. Oh, that's awesome. Well, all right. Well, that's awesome. Has anyone been watching the European Cup,
I have not.
Scott?
You're talking soccer, right?
Yeah.
Euros?
Yeah, Euros.
I've watched some of it. England sucks. They're embarrassed.
Didn't Germany do something? Like, everyone at work watches it, and I heard about
Germany just dominated everybody.
Yeah, Germany and Spain is kicking some ass.
Yeah. Did you guys see the video of the English guy that fell asleep in the stadium after the first game and then woke up at 4 a.m. just like cold as shit? No one woke him up. They just left him there.
See, that's that European hospitality there. Like, yeah, he'll get up eventually. No need to bother him. He has got like a cup of hot tea waiting for him right next to him. Anywho,
Biscuits.
fellas, like Dan said, we made a trade. I know we referenced it in the last episode, which if you haven't checked it out, go check out the episode with Q and I. It's called The Caruso Must Go On. I thought it was a little witty there, but we finally made a trade that involved Alex Caruso to the Oklahoma City Thunder straight up for Josh Giddey in return. And like Dan was saying, he's 50-50. What we've been seeing on Twitter has been fans are 50-50. So we'll break that down to you. There's some rumor mills floating around involving the Bulls. They're ramping up, and we go and break down with our ever hated ESPN draft machine trades. We go into some players who most likely will not be on the team next year. We have an Ask-A-Horniac question. We'll give you an update on that poll question we posted. And we got some all-star voting in the WNBA, gentlemen. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Dan.
Yes.
What'd you think of that Josh Giddey trade? I know you kind of mentioned to it, but
yeah, I was saying earlier, I'm 50. Like, I like it. The only thing I don't like is that there's no pick, but I like that we got rid of Caruso. Like, it sucks. Like, Caruso is going to be a fan favorite everywhere he goes. We loved him here in Chicago. I told my wife, and she was heartbroken. She doesn't even really watch the Bulls. But I mean, we got younger, and we got rid of a player that is hurt for, like, I don't know, like maybe 40% of the season. He's usually injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I think overall, like, this will make sense when it's all said and done. That's what I'm hoping, at least,
right,
with more moves going on with the front office and everything. I think that this is just wait and see what the whole picture is going to be at the start of the season. And then all of these moves that they're going to be making are going to be making sense to everyone else.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, we did mention it. This does look like a move that's not like a one and only one and done move. This is like the move to get the dominoes to start falling. This was just the first domino.
Which is super rare, because usually the Bulls, as we know, they don't do anything in the offseason. Or usually they just do one little thing and then, all right, we're done. We're good.
Yeah. This early. I mean, this early.
Yeah, especially like, the finals just ended.
Yeah, exactly. Scott of Holes Wide Open.
Yes.
What'd you think of the Giddey trade?
I liked it. I always thought he's a good player. Last year, his whole off the court thing, like, made him play pretty terribly during certain times. Plus, he went from the number 2 option to like the 4th or 5th option. And then they completely changed how he plays. But the one thing I like about him, he could play point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. He played all those positions, so we could put him anywhere.
I don't think we should put him anywhere.
I don't think he's going to start as our point guard. I really wouldn't be surprised if he's our power forward or small forward.
Yeah. We did mention that.
I think we're getting rid of Pat. We may be moving on from Pat because of this. We may be moving on from DeRozan, hopefully, because we shouldn't be paying him $40 million. But I think Hayes put it perfectly. He's on a rookie deal that we can walk away from next year.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another thing that I like about the trade is like this. Like, getting Giddey is kind of like, all right, let's test this out, kind of situation. I don't think he's going to be forward. I do think, like Q was saying in the last episode, that it would be smart if say like the Kings or someone, I don't know who, or Oklahoma offers Pat like so much money, and we're probably going to end up matching it. If we're on this youth kick, why not? Like, especially since we're not winning anything. Just now assuming Zach's gone and everything, you let the Pat kind of shine like he did when everyone was out last season. And then move Kobe to the 2. And if you want to start Giddey, you can start him at the 1, because that is his natural position, isn't it?
No,
I think he was shooting guard.
Yeah, he came in the league as a shooting guard, but he played basically every position on the Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
him being so tall and everything, and if he gets his defense down, I feel like he could be like, I know someone said like a poor man's Halliburton, but if he gets his defense right, he could be a poor man's Lonzo.
Oh, great.
Lonzo now.
We're 10 minutes in and we already have a Lonzo Ball reference.
Yes, sir.
He could
He's
be
gonna be
hurt
gone,
and never
so-
play again.
I was gonna say, so we'll get 33 good games out of him and never see him again.
Yeah, and we'll be number 1 in the East.
I mean, that's fine. Here's the thing, man. I'm with you guys. I was 50-50. I hated it, but I think it's just because the trade involved Alex Caruso. And I think I don't want to speak for all Bulls fans, but I don't think that a trade that involved Alex Caruso would have happened where we're not somewhat pissed off, because I think, like you said, Dan, everybody loved Alex Caruso. I mean, whether or not he was playing or not, if he was hurt, he was just an energy ball that was out there, and he was like a little Joakim Noah. He was that fan favorite with some attitude. So I think that any trade involving him would have just yielded negative responses from Bulls fans. But I mean, as a whole, I'm okay with getting Giddey just because of the fact that we did get younger. We did get some offense. I mean, granted, he is not the greatest shooter. He is a phenomenal ball distributor. He does play pretty good defense. I mean, it's one of those bittersweet things. And again, he was Scott, what was he? He was a top pick, wasn't he?
He was drafted
They
sixth.
him.
Sixth,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what Caruso was traded, but we essentially traded, an aging kind of hurt player for a top 10 draft pick. And if it wasn't for, his name was Alex Caruso, if you would have just said, hey, I'm trading this old guy for a top 10 draft pick, everyone would be like, oh, that's a phenomenal deal. But because it's Alex Caruso, everyone's in an uproar. So,
well, the thing is with like the Bulls community is they were going to be pissed either way. Like they're pissed because we traded Ask-A-Caruso away. You're going to get pissed if we extend Caruso.
yep,
So either way, you guys aren't going to be happy.
correct.
So we just ripped the Band-Aid off.
Correct. And everyone forgets, like, Caruso was on the trading block last year. Caruso was shopped around last year. And yeah, we were kind of upset, but I think it was at the trade deadline, and Bulls fans just wanted to see a trade that they're like, okay. But now that like the dust has settled, they were just like, what? They traded Caruso? They can't do that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean,
go win a ring, Caruso.
exactly.
You deserve a ring.
There are some players out there where it's like you don't want to hold back their progress. I mean, Caruso's one for me. I'll even throw DeRozan in there. DeMar, yeah, exactly. I mean, I hope that if I hope he's not in a Bulls jersey next year, and I hope he goes on to be competitive for a ring. I feel like he's owed that. He's had an absolutely phenomenal season.
I feel like he's going to be like the new Al Horford, the old vet that never won a ring that deserves one.
Yeah. Like Chris Paul, I mean, one of those
Fuck
players.
Chris Paul.
All right.
Fuck
Well,
Chris Paul.
okay.
Whoa. A little aggressive there.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, so is Chris Paul.
Yeah. The big thing about Giddey, and everybody's like, oh, we didn't get a pick. You put Giddey in this draft, he's a top 5 pick.
So, for sure.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. So, I mean, besides what we mentioned, Dan, what did we really gain and what did we lose making this trade?
Well, we lost defense, and we gained I don't know much about Giddey, but I feel like, because I've seen some like mixtapes and everything, but I take it with a grain of salt, because like anyone can make a mixtape and make that person look like an all-star. But it looked, from what I've seen, it looks like we got like a high energy, push the ball up, playmaking guard.
Yep.
And that's something we've been lacking since Lonzo went down.
Yeah. Somebody said it best. It looks like they replaced Lonzo with a younger version of Lonzo.
Yeah.
And then Scott, what did we lose? What did we gain?
Caruso was kind of the guy that we expected to guard the best player on the team, but he was so reckless that he would get himself hurt, and I don't think he's ever played a full season. So we were going to lose him at the end of next year anyways, so why not get something? And with Giddey, you have a guy that can distribute the ball anywhere. He can rebound. He can score. He's scored over 30 points before. He's a pretty good player, and I think he will, because he was in such a weird spot with OKC and they really didn't use him since you had the emergence of Chet and Williams, that this will be a good spot for him because he can become that guy that kind of distributes the ball. The thing that we wanted Kobe to do, now we can have Kobe focus on getting open and making shots.
Exactly.
Compared to trying to facilitate the offense.
Yeah.
Correct.
There was multiple games last season where Kobe was passing a little too much and everyone was just like, stop passing, start shooting.
Yeah.
So now he can do that.
Correct. I mean, my answer is going to be, what did we gain and what did we lose? I'm going to take my answer off the court. I think we gained a lot, and what we gained is it got Bulls fans excited about the offseason and making moves. As you know, we didn't do any moves last year. We thought that this was a train derailment. I mean, a lot of us thought that this is going to be the same team as last year because A, we have no money, and B, nobody wants our players. But we come out swinging immediately in the offseason with a blockbuster trade for, a Josh Giddey, who is a well-known name, be it for good reasons or bad reasons that you guys know his name is irrelevant. We still made that initial move. So it's getting Bulls fans hungry for more. And it's showing Bulls fans that AK does have some negotiation, does have some will to better this team. Could it be because he's on the hot seat because of a mediocre season after mediocre season? Sure. But we'll take what we can get. So we got
that's what Jerry wants.
Exactly, though.
Mediocrity.
And I think if you want my honest opinion, Jerry's probably like, oh shoot, if we lose DeMar, who's going to put butts in seats? Because I don't think Kobe White carries a name enough to put butts in seats. Not saying Josh Giddey would put butts.
I was about to say.
But I mean, it's the first of many. So I think we gained spotlight in the NBA. That's what I'm saying. I think we gained like spotlight as far as we don't get much media coverage ever in Chicago. It's always negative.
Yeah.
Like it's always for a negative reason.
Fuck ESPN.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, what did we lose? We lost basically a coach on the floor, because that's what Alex was. He was, like I said in the Q episode, I think that players respected him more than they respected Billy. So that's what we lost.
To a degree, yeah.
But fellas, who do you think is going to have a bigger impact on their respective new team? Dan?
Oh my God, it's going to be Alex Caruso.
Okay.
Like, I think that now that Oklahoma has Alex Caruso, that what did they get out in the first or second round last season? Second?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go all the way to the conference finals this coming season, because not solely because of Alex Caruso, but Alex, like you have AC and you have Lou Dort, like two defense wizards out there, and Caruso will do every single little tiny thing to make sure that his team will win.
Yep.
And then you surround it with like cutters and shooters. Like that team is going to be disgusting next season. They're not going to win it all, but yeah, they're going to make it all the way to the conference finals for sure.
Yeah, I did say the one thing that the Thunder were lacking last year was just experience. I mean, they're a young team, and that's great. They were a young team coming in, and unfortunately, they ran into some teams who just had a little bit more playoff experience in them. So now they are a year older, and they have a veteran who has won before. He knows what it takes to win. I agree with you. He gains tremendous on that team. Scott, what do you think?
In the short term, the Thunder. Possibly the long term, the Bulls.
I like that answer.
Because this is the Thunder's going for a championship. Yeah. And they needed a 3-and-D guy. I know Caruso doesn't shoot the three that often, but they needed a D guy. That's what they tried to make Giddey into, and he just couldn't do it. And plus, he's not going to be relied on or expected to score. So he can focus on defense. He doesn't have to really worry about trying that hard on the offensive board. So he can focus on that more.
Yeah.
Did Caruso have did his 3-point percentage go up last season? I don't remember. I feel like he had like a record.
He
was
shot like
shooting
40,
the ball better. Yeah.
40% from
Yeah.
3.
I think that's about
Okay.
his average. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's not
elevated,
fair.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Grayson Allen numbers, but
Fuck, Grayson Allen. God, how many
I was going to say, man,
players and organizations do I have to say fuck to?
this is starting to sound like a Limp Bizkit song.
If I say fuck 2 more times, 37 fucks in this fucked up. Sorry, I'm done. Sorry. Dressing up a storm over here.
I'm with you guys. I like Dan's answer. Scott, I like your answer a lot because initially, yeah, we're going to take that hit because there's one thing that we did well last year, and that's play defense when Alex Caruso is on the court. I do feel that losing him, we lose, like Q said, 5 more games. I mean, how many of those games were determined by Alex picking up the best defender, like we were saying earlier, and now we don't have that. Giddey is okay on defense, but he's no Alex Caruso on defense. You know, accordingly,
here's my thing. So with AC gone, obviously we have lost defense, but what's going to happen with Javonte Green? Because Javonte Green is a solid defender, and then Io is a beast on the defensive end as well.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it was that big of a hit. Like, yeah, it's a hit, but I don't think it's like as massive as some people are making it out to be, because we still have some defensive minded players. And let's not forget that the Bulls can't shoot for shit.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing it would rely on is you would need that guy who's ready and willing to step up and take on the best player on the court. That's what separated Alex from anyone could be a solid defender, but to take on that role as, you know, hey, KD's out there, I'm getting him. You know what I mean?
That's also another reason why I feel like they're gonna keep Pat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
because before
Pat.
AC, before AC wasn't Pat always guarding like the hardest.
I think it's just because of his position, because like he is a power forward, small forward. So I think like the best players in the league these years are the forwards. So like I think it was just by default.
Right.
But to see like Caruso, who's listed as a guard, go up against these, you know, high scoring
Joel
forward,
Embiid,
exactly, and do a pretty good job. It's incredible. But like to touch on what Scott said, I do think Chicago will have the most to get out of it because, like we said in the last episode, point guards have always been trouble in Chicago. I know we do have Kobe established as a point guard, but there's no reason we can't run that 1-2 punch where maybe Kobe doesn't have to take the ball up the court every time. Maybe you can share it with you know, Josh and you know, make a little duo like that. So I think in the long run, especially if we can keep them happy in Chicago and show some progress, and depending again with what other moves we make, we may end up winning. I mean, Alex has got 1 year left, I think. Who's to say he doesn't walk from Oklahoma? And in reality, Oklahoma just unloaded a troubled player off the court. I mean, you know what I mean? And speaking of troubled player off the court, as we all know, Josh Giddey doesn't come, I shouldn't say without controversy. We all know he got himself in a little bit of trouble. It was proven to be not
just
true,
a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding. I'll say that.
Misunderstanding.
But that reputation still does follow him, because when I was on Twitter the day of that trade, that's all you saw was, you know, underage jokes.
The internet needs to calm down.
Oh yeah,
calm down, because that's all I saw as well. Was just like, oh, we traded a defender for an offender. I saw some kids say like, I'm a teenager in Chicago, I don't feel safe. Like, fucking calm down. Calm down. Like, it was a misunderstanding. She had a fake ID. Like, he didn't know. If it was something, then something would have happened. It was nothing, so nothing did happen.
Yeah. Trolls be trolling. So my question is, do you think that his off-court troubles will impact him at all while he's playing in Chicago?
I don't think so.
Nice.
No.
Scott?
No. I think there's always going to be jokes about it, but I think at this point they'll move on. People will move on. Yeah. Once he starts playing well, people will stop making those jokes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is a shame, because honestly, like, we've seen what Josh can do. We've seen how he can play, and you know, to give the man crap but then he goes out and plays well, and we're like, oh, okay, well, he's doing good. Yeah, it's all is forgiven. And it's kind of unfair, you know what I mean? But
I mean, it worked for Kobe.
yeah, actually, weirdly enough, there's a lot of people that forgot about that.
I Kobe number 8.
Yeah, they forgot why they changed his number. I'm not going to say it because
I don't think that's,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not
going
to
have to go into details about all
people
that,
forgot he was in some controversy.
Yeah, little off topic, but I thought it was funny. Did you notice that
Kobe? Oh, okay.
No, it's kind of related to Kobe, but the Boston Celtics won a championship in 2008 and in 2024.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. Oh my God.
And the biggest rival of the Boston Celtics were the Lakers.
Yo.
Dude.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that.
And then when Jerry West passes away and Bill Walton, dude, that's eerie. Oh man, Scott coming in from left field with all
the Celtics just find a way to piss off Laker fans.
Yeah,
call you Chris Angel because you just freaked my mind. God.
The worst Magic show I've ever seen was Chris Angel. It was terrible. It was so bad. Don't ever see Chris Angel live.
Your mind was not freaked.
You didn't no, but he did bring some like French guy on that did like these crazy card tricks that somehow he just kept like he had like no shirt on and he just kept pulling like decks of cards out of everywhere. It was crazy.
Interesting.
Well, I wonder where it was.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm just that's nuts. Anyways, besides the controversy here, do you guys think Josh is actually going to like playing in Chicago? Scott or Dan?
I don't see why not. Chicago's a great city. We always support the Bulls. I mean, bad or good. Like, just look at the standings. Well, not the standings, but the attendance. Attendance for the Bulls. We have great food. It's a great city, like I said. The only thing I'm a little worried about, because I know he's from Australia, is he going to like the winters here?
Oh, okay.
Because the winters are brutal here.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's the only thing he probably won't like. But, I mean, join the club. None of us like
it. Basically. Scott, is Giddey going to be giddy about playing in Chicago?
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's probably already talked to Luke Longley about it. So he has some idea of what he's getting into. Also, I just looked up the attendance. Why are the Bulls first? I hate it.
They're
we said
forever gonna.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid.
It's because of
Jerry will win all the time. We won't win, but Jerry will.
It's because of A, the 90s, B, Chicago just being a major market for tourism, and C, the Bulls being a national, international logo. They're known all around the world. So I actually went to a concert where I was in the United Center. It was a foreign concert. I'll tell you guys that. It was a concert of foreigners. I went to a Stray Kids concert. I don't care. I'll say it. I'm not.
A what? No,
it's a group called Stray Kids. They're actually really cool.
Okay.
I like, whatever.
What kind of
don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
Is it K-pop?
Yeah, no one cares.
Okay, I understand.
He went to a K-pop concert.
K-pop's very popular.
Anyway, and halfway through the show, even he was like, "It's good to be performing in the same place where Michael Jordan played." So that's why our attendance is so good, is because people know Michael Jordan, people know the Bulls, and it doesn't matter who the owner is, good or bad, we're always going to sell out.
It's part of the problem though too, is our history.
Yeah.
Like it's like we were talking about it earlier in the year, I guess, or something. I don't know how that sentence is going to work out, but how we were talking about how with the Ring of Honor episode, we were talking about how Jerry is spending too much time focusing on the past and not enough on the future, just like how the Bears were always talking about the 88 Bears or whatever.
85.
So 85. I don't watch football. I know you football. I really don't care about football. So sorry, not sorry. But yeah, that's I think it's a blessing and a curse that Michael Jordan played here.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the 6 rings because let's face it, without that man, it doesn't seem like we would have won anything at all.
Right.
But I was always saying this to you guys, and this is maybe a question not only for you guys, but for the fans. But should the NBA institute some sort of clause where if a owner is not, I don't know how to word this, but if they're not able to benefit the team, should the NBA be allowed to force an owner to sell the team? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So like, it's not a well-known, and what I mean by this is this, it's not a well-known fact that our organization isn't the greatest. We've had players say that this organization has not been the best. We've had coaches. I mean, Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, exactly. We've had just many, many people close to this organization say it's not a good organization to play for. And my question is, in those instances, should the NBA be allowed to A, probe them, and B, force the owner to sell to a non-family member owner?
By probe, do you mean like just like launch an investigation and figure out why so many players leave this franchise unhappy?
Yeah, either A, don't come here. B, I'm doing a lot of A and B. I feel like either A, don't want to come back here. B, are just upset. Like, I think they should be allowed to have like an NBA agent or an executive shadow the team for a month and be like, yeah, this is toxic. He's not doing anything about it.
Right.
I'm sorry,
Right.
you're forced to sell.
I mean, I'd be down for that. Yeah, it would almost be like an HR representative from the league.
Yeah,
just
correct.
Making sure everything's, all right,
Yeah.
you doing your job correctly and running the
Yeah.
ship right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Let's face it, you're not going to win every year. I mean, you're not going to be penalized by not winning, but
right.
like,
But I mean, if you have a history of players and coaches and former staff members and all this stuff saying at the end of the day, it's kind of a shit show or
Right.
it's disoriented or anything negative about the organization and how it's ran,
right.
then yeah, obviously there's something wrong here. So we should probably go in and look at what's going on because we want our talent happy. We want our fans happy. We want our bottom dollar to be maximized as much as possible.
Yeah. Because in the end of the day, I mean, these owners are not just accommodating, players and fans. They're representing the city that they own. Jerry Reinsdorf in some way represents Chicago basketball. You know what I mean? Scott, what do you think? Yeah.
No, just shame. Fuck Jerry.
They would never make Jerry sell because one, he makes the NBA too much money.
Mm-hmm.
He's not blatantly tanking because he's actually putting a somewhat competent team, and he shows some turnaround. He's willing to fire people. It's just he waits too long, but he's meeting the bare minimum. So there's nothing that the NBA could do. It's not like he's blatantly just like hiring incompetent people and then, well, yeah,
right.
But
Jim Boylan?
But you know what I mean. Like, it's there's no reason that they're gonna make him sell.
Yeah.
No, but like
unless he comes out and he's racist, like
the Clippers owner,
Clifford
or whatever,
Sterling.
Sterling, Sterling Brown.
Yeah, it's almost like Jerry kind of figured out the system, and it's almost like he's rigging the system a little bit.
Yeah,
it's called "Don't talk to the media ever."
Yeah,
that's what Jerry does.
So take Jerry aside and just look at it as a 30. Look at it league wide. All 30 teams. Should an owner be forced to sell if they're doing actions that are giving the team a bad name? I guess we'll say that. Not necessarily like you don't have to be racist. You don't have to say controversial stuff, but like
the former Phoenix owner. I don't think he was forced to sell, but I do think like something leaked out. I don't know what it might have been a racist thing. I don't quite remember, but he wasn't forced to sell. He sold it before it got out of control.
Yeah. But do you think the NBA should force owners to sell? Should be able to.
I think they should have a say, but I don't think they should be able to fully force,
Okay, I like that answer.
If they're not
Scott?
breaking any rules or anything like that.
Right, yeah. Scott, yes or no?
It'll never pass the owners meeting because they're officially the ones that
for
make
sure.
the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of incompetence, I think the Athletic did a like a poll survey with like all the players, and the second worst franchise was the White Sox, and one of the quotes was, "I've never heard anything good about that organization." So
I'll be honest.
Continuation of Jerry.
I'll be honest with you.
Running.
I thought when you were saying, speaking of incompetence, I thought you were going to say the Lakers hired JJ Redick. Speaking of incompetent hirings,
We don't know how that's going to turn out.
that's
because-
LeBron's going to help him
Yeah.
a lot. And
Yeah. Who knows?
AD had some say in that signing as well. So I'm sure that, if you have your two stars behind you, then the roster should fall in line.
yeah.
So we will see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we will see. Speaking of we will see, fellas, the rumor mill is a rampant, and it's the return of our mortal NBA or our mortal enemy. I'm talking, of course, about the NBA trade machine on ESPN. Now we get to look forward to scrolling through Twitter and seeing everybody's incredibly outrageous trades. So, fellas, we already know that Zach LaVine is more than likely not going to be a Chicago Bull next year. I've heard some rumors that I like, and I've heard some rumors I've absolutely hated. Dan, what's a rumor that you've heard that you'd be welcoming to?
So I've seen Zach possibly get traded to the Kings and the Utah Jazz, and I'm cool with both. For the Kings, we would get Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter. I like both those players. We need shooting. Kevin Huerter, I think I saw here, I have his numbers right up here. He shot like 38 or 33 from the field, 36 from the field for threes. And that's not good, but it's not bad either. I mean, I guess that fits the Bulls MO. So why not? Harrison Barnes, he's getting up there in age and everything, but at least we don't have Zach's contract. So
Right.
I'm cool with that as well. And plus he's a vet. He's a good vet that everyone likes. He's a good locker room guy.
Yeah.
For the Jazz, I saw John Collins and Jordan Clarkson.
Love that.
I would be all over that because we need size and we need shooting, and we need shooting in a flurry. Because Kobe can't do it all. So I would be 100% down for that. And I was actually messing with the trade machine.
Oh, great.
And
what do you got?
No, I sent it to you guys. The trade of
with Javon Carter and
John Collins and Clarkson for Zach and Carter. Because why is Carter on our team still? Just throw him in any package, and every single Bulls fan will be happy. If you threw him in with that Josh Giddey trade, at least
we probably offered that to him.
Less, less hated.
We'll give you Alex and Javon for Giddey. You keep Javon. We'll just take Alex.
We just want him.
No. Take Javon. No, we don't want him. Keep him.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that Carter gets traded this season. I think the next domino to fall will be Zach.
Okay.
And
like that. Scott, what has been some trades you've seen that you liked?
I really haven't been looking at trades because it's all bullshit. Because how often last year during the trade deadline, they go, these trades are about to happen. These trades are about to happen. Nothing happens.
Yep. The Lakers of the East.
Oh yeah. Holy crap. Remember how many trades were we're going to get so much from the Lakers. They're just waiting for Rui to get his whatever June
when
he's half year.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's talks about they're going to try to get rid of Zach. We're going to get nothing in return for him if we do trade him.
Yeah.
I do hope we do, just because it's just so much money with him, but We'll see. Lonzo, no one wants that contract. No one wants a guy that no idea if he's going to be able to play. No
I'm
idea.
like 90% sure we're gonna buy that contract out.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point,
That's the
who
only
cares?
thing. Right.
It's dead money.
Right.
Yeah, I think if they can't find a trade for him, I think it'd just be a buyout, and rightfully so. I mean, one trade I did see. Now, I don't like it, but I like it, and that is sending Zach and DeMar to the Lakers for AD. Like, I know he's injury prone. I know, but
I would love AD.
I would love AD. One, he's a Chicago-born native, and two, he's closer to an expiring contract than Zach is. If you think about it, you're going to get rid of two of our potentially highest paid players in one deal for another, yes, overly paid big man who is hurt, but at least he's Chicago born, and at least, you know what I mean, he's closer to his expiring contract. The only thing I didn't like about that trade is I think there was like a future first round pick dangled in there, and I don't know, I'm a little leery about trading first round picks now.
We shouldn't give up any of our picks.
No, exactly. And that's why I was kind of like, But speaking of DeMar, we did hear that DeMar's name made the paper again in the form of more rumors. Fellas, what DeMar rumors have you heard that you've liked?
Oh, I haven't seen any.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about him being with Kendrick.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to talk about too.
At the concert?
He went to Yeah, he was in Compton. But I mean, I'm hoping that Debo goes to LA. The Clippers, not the Lakers, because fuck the Lakers.
It's another one.
But I would love it if Debo went home and competed with a contending team. So other than that, I haven't seen or heard much of anything.
Okay. Scott, what have you heard about Debo? Besides he has tremendous taste in music.
I don't know. The only thing I've really seen is because we got Giddey, there's no reason to bring Debo back.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen? I still think I would love to keep him just because, like, sign him for a 1 year deal, but not pay him $40 million.
Yeah.
I think he helped out a lot with the younger players, and I think he'd be good for Giddey. But at this point, we're not going to win. We're going to be a possible lottery team, late lottery team again.
We're not even going to be in the play-in this season.
Yeah. So let him go to a contender. I think Clippers would be a good spot for him.
Yeah. They are rumored to lose Paul George. I mean, I'm sure they'd be able to swing the salary. Here's the thing: like, if we could find a way to sign DeMar, not necessarily for cheap, but sign DeMar and trade Zach for AD, like, I know they probably want DeMar in that deal, but if we could find a way to get AD here, just imagine the lineup of Vooch, AD, Giddey, Kobe, and DeMar.
Here's my thing. If we're
pretty,
I don't think we're gonna blow it up or anything like that, like down to like the bare bolts. But if we're getting rid of Zach, we've gotten rid of AC, Zoe's probably gonna get bought out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this already or not. Debo's probably gonna go. But so what's gonna go down with Vooch? Like, are we trading him? Are we keeping him?
I mean, I think it depends what we do in the draft and the offseason. Because here's the thing, man. I don't think there's a lot of teams chomping at the bit for a Vooch. Because he's at that point where he can still start and he's not a bench player yet. So, I mean, as terrible as he played, he's still able to produce. So, like, he's not a bench player, he's not a starter. So, not a lot of teams are going to be wanting to trade for him. So,
if he is on this roster in October, I hope to God that they just tell him to stay in the post.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Now, like, if the Lakers, I mean, granted, again, you have to decide that you have to also put yourself in their shoes. If the Lakers want Vooch and Zach for, you know what I mean, we keep DeMar, Vooch and Zach for AD. That'd be awesome. You know what I mean? It all depends what we do in the draft.
If we're trading for AD, then I would hope that it's Zach and DeMar because we've seen firsthand those two players can't really play with each other. So it just shoot the Lakers further in the foot. So fuck them.
If you get rid of them both, it's okay. Wow. Okay. Jeez.
No. I'm saying if you trade,
I heard.
Okay, yeah.
Jeez.
Because they can't really play together, or they don't play well together. So, and it would just hurt the Lakers even more. So go ahead.
Dan Gracey sipping that hater juice today, man. Look at that.
Jesus.
Speaking of drink Dasani like a real man.
Do not drink Dasani.
Dasani is let me drink sand. That's what you pretty much told me.
Anyway, speaking of draft rumors, the draft is coming quick. It's in 3 days at the time of this recording. We're on June 23rd. Fellas, any good draft rumors you've heard that you've liked?
I haven't been paying attention to the draft. I've heard that this isn't that good of a draft, and I know that next season's draft is going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want us to keep our pick, and I kind of hope that I don't want us to like go in full tank mode, but like if we can get a top 5 pick for next draft, yeah, that's going to be good.
We may be doing a good job of getting that on our own. I don't know if we're making the lottery, but Scott, what have you heard trades for draft picks?
Not much. I wonder if this trade changes what we're going to do. Because I think a lot of places were projecting us to get a guard, and I don't know if they're going to do that now. So they may start focusing on a big man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Billy. Billy loves his guards.
Yep. It all depends what we draft, because is this the most lucrative draft out there? Not by any means, but next season is. So, I mean, are we going to draft the best player right now for this year just to draft, or are we going to be ramping up for next year? The only thing I've heard is like everyone's saying, "Oh, we're going to trade up and get Klingon. We're going to trade up and get Klingon."
Yeah,
but
I was about to say, like, I did hear that there's rumor that the Bulls are trying to trade up in the draft.
Sal started that rumor.
No, I know.
Was it Sal?
Yeah, Sal started it.
Yeah, it was me on my burners. But like, no, my question is, everyone's saying we're going to trade up in the draft, but I've yet to see one like proposed trade or like a scenario where that would happen. It's just, hey, we're going to trade up in the draft. Cool. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at when I did see that. I was just like, but what do we have to offer to do it?
Correct. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Like, and let's like Zach LaVine for like a top 3 pick. I doubt any team will give us a top 5 pick for Zach LaVine.
No, I think that's a failed test right there. If you trade that.
Yeah. Did you see? I don't know if you covered this in the last episode or not, but did you see that supposedly the front office called 15 teams about Zach LaVine?
I mean, I can see that. That's probably an hour's worth of work there.
We have 15 trade scenarios out there for one guy. I feel like that's a little much.
Did we call or did we get 15 phone calls? I didn't read that article.
We called 15 teams asking if they want Zach. If you call half the league asking if they want a player, I feel like that sounds super desperate. Like, I know we are.
Yeah. But here's the thing. A player of a Zach LaVine caliber, I know I dogged him all year, but when you have a player of that caliber, you kind of want to evaluate each and every trade avenue. You know what I mean? Because it's right. You don't want to get ripped off and you don't want to be sold short. So it's like, I'll call this person. All right, what are you offering me? Oh, you're offering me that? All right, I'm going to call the Dallas Mavericks. What are you offering me? Are you not offering me anything? All right. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but like if other front offices come and see that, you've called half the league for this guy. Clearly you're desperate to get rid of him. I shouldn't have to offer you,
I would say
the best of the best.
Most teams probably do that. They're all talking constantly.
Yeah.
It just came out. You're like Sal said, you're trying to get what his value is.
Yeah.
testing the waters.
At this
Yeah.
point, dude, it's no secret that the Bulls are trying to get rid of Zach. It's
Solid. True.
it's league
True.
borderline worldwide known that the Bulls don't want, or the Bulls and Zach LaVine are parting ways. And now it's because they know that I think we're not getting the best value we can for Zach LaVine's, I'll say, statistics. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows, like, all right, what are you going to do? Keep him? He's going to sit on your bench, or he's going to play 10 games, get hurt, and you're going to blow $40 million. Do you want to blow $40 million, or do you want my bench player in a second round pick? You know what I mean? Like, it all depends on how much we want to lose. So, fellas, we had Q on the episode last episode, which if you didn't listen to that, go listen to that. I know I plugged at the beginning, but it was
for sure. Listen to that. That is truly a great episode.
Yeah. Q does a good job, man. If Q wasn't so busy, I'd be like, hey, come be a host on this show. We'll call it the Let's Talk Horns podcast. Q, hit us up. We got something brewing here, man. But anyway, he was the first person to call in with a Ask-A-Horniac question. And his question that he has for us is, if Giddey can gain a consistent 3-point shot and puts on about 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, can you see him growing into a poor man's Halliburton? Great question, Q. Thanks for writing us in. Dan Gracey.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Yes. That's my thoughts. My thoughts are, yes, he would be a poor man's Halliburton. I'm not even that high on Halliburton. He could probably be better than Halliburton. I think Halliburton's a little overrated.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I don't like Halliburton. I don't know what it is. I think he's a bitch. I think that's what it is that he's a bit of a bitch.
Is it because
he's a fake tough?
He's a fake tough guy. Games?
Well, no, I feel like he's just like a fake tough guy. Like, he talks shit when it's convenient for him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
he can get out of a chair
when the chips are down, so to speak. Oh, I mean, fuck you, dude. Talking about.
He can walk up a flight of stairs without missing an entire seat.
But okay. But I do think that if Giddey adds some muscle and works with our not newly, but our newly acquired shooting coach, I do think that if he can get a jump shot down from 3 and put on some muscle, then for sure he could easily be on Halliburton's level, if anything.
Okay, I can understand that. Scott, what kind of God Bless America shirt are you wearing, man?
I'm wearing a Logan Sargent shirt.
Oh, okay. I just saw
he's an awful F1 racer that will probably lose his seat in the next week or so.
Okay. All right, I just looked up and I saw the American flag. I'm like, oh, how patriotic of you. Not to get off topic, but what do you think of the question? Could he grow into be a poor man's Halliburton?
I don't think he's going to be our point guard. So I think he'll be, I don't know. I could see him being like a very poor man, like
a poor man's DeRozan?
No, not even.
What about like Kyle
Korver? He'd be more of like an assist guy.
Oh,
so okay. He's going to be. I don't think he's going to score anywhere near what Halliburton is. He's not going to be our number one guy. So he's kind of just going to be the facilitator. So maybe like early Chris Paul, if like I'm looking at assist wise, like he's going to be hopefully turn into a solid floor general. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how to compare him to anybody. I don't trust Dan's opinion on anything. He said Lonzo Ball is 10 times better than Halliburton, so Dan's opinion's bullshit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here, would you see him being better than Lonzo Ball? Prime Lonzo Ball. Do you see Giddey being better than prime Lonzo Ball?
I would think so.
Okay.
Just because I don't think we ever saw prime Lonzo Ball. That's the hard thing, is because he's never healthy.
I like it.
I think prime Lonzo Ball was his first 30 plus games here, and I think that was his prime.
his first 30 games here? Wasn't that just called his career in Chicago?
His career here in Chicago was his. I think that was his prime because Giddey needs to work on defense if you're gonna say, if you're gonna bring him into the Lonzo conversation, because Lonzo was a lockdown defender as well.
Yeah, he was good defense.
And that's another reason why I think fucking goddamn it. Giddey, I think Giddey is gonna be our point guard, and I think I think that adds on to one of the reasons why we're gonna buy Zoe out, because he's 6'8", he has great playmaking
ability.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, brain fart. He has great playmaking ability. He sees the court phenomenally. So, and they want to push it. They want to push the pace of this team. Giddey can do that for you.
My opinion, you guys are going to get pissed at me. I don't care. But here's my opinion. With Giddey and Kobe, I made the list. Okay. With Giddey and Kobe in the backcourt, it's not necessarily going to be a poor man's Tyrese Halliburton, but we are going to have a poor man's Dallas Mavericks backcourt. Okay. We are going to have two players that can handle the point. Okay. Whether or not they play the point, they'll be interchangeable. They can both play point guard. They can both play shooting guard. If they can work together on the court and get along, we have a Dallas Mavericks lineup of the East. We have a Luka Doncic type player with a tall guard. He needs to put on some muscle, though. This is all dependent if he puts on muscle and learns to score a little bit better. But he can distribute the ball tremendously. You know what I mean? Which either leaves Kobe wide open on the perimeter, or Kobe's been working on his handle. He can drive the paint and kick it out to an open Giddey. Now, again, it would all be dependent on if that shot doctor can work with him and Giddey's shot falls a little bit more. But we can have almost as deadly of a backcourt as the Dallas Mavericks, because they're both very, very young. So they have nothing but upside and growth ahead of them. It's just a matter of, can those two work together in sync, so to speak?
Yeah, cohesively.
Yeah, cohesively.
To quote AK.
Yeah. So that's my take. Let us know what you guys think. I'll repost this question on Twitter and let us know what you guys think of this. And speaking of Twitter, fellas, I posted a poll. Thank you, Q. Again, thank you, Q. Q does more work around here than
Q.
Thank you. He asked me on the last podcast. If you didn't listen to it, I'll repeat it here. And it is basically, if the NBA took a page out of the NFL's book and instituted a franchise tag, how would you feel about it? This question literally blew my mind. I couldn't answer it, but what would you guys feel about that, Dan?
I mean, I heard you guys talk about it on the last episode. That's another plug. And I thought when I heard it, I was laughing about it because I thought it was brilliant. I think it would be hilariously awesome if they did that. Like, imagine if like LeBron never was able to leave Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Put a franchise tag on you. No, you can't leave.
Yeah.
You're staying here.
Yeah.
I think it has its pluses and its minuses, but majority I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
I like it.
It definitely sounds like it's geared more towards benefiting younger players, because the younger players will get recognized, and if they get noticed,
or say OKC put a franchise tag on Shea,
right?
Like that'd be good for him. But at the same time, like, what if like Oklahoma kind of just fumbles the ball and then he's stuck there forever?
Yeah.
So it has its pluses and its minuses. But I think it would it eliminate super teams from happening?
In a manner of speaking, yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Imagine if they had it way back in the day.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant never left OKC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that Warriors team would never have happened.
Yeah.
They probably would have won a ring still, but
yeah. Yeah. Scott, Captain America over here. What do you got?
Well, I'm just trying to think.
I
It's
understand
like,
that reference.
how often do big names really get to free agency? It seems like most of the time they're either traded somewhere or they're drafted somewhere and they're just kept. And the big thing with the NBA is you have to meet certain goals to be able to make or get a certain contract.
Yep.
They don't really have that per se in the NFL. So I'm kind of just trying to think of players that it would be used for. And for what? Wait, who?
Like Pat Williams.
Like, dude, I would never pay Pat. No, I would never use it on Patrick Williams because it's just too much money. Because you would have to do like the average of the top 4. You'd have to be like, you overpay him for too much. Really, the one I could think of would be Toronto would have done it to Kawhi.
Okay,
Like, other than that, what other player would you use it for?
Not like what about like Malik Monk?
But they just signed him to a contract.
Right, but like he was expiring before he gets to that contract extension. Hey, we're going to franchise you.
Yeah, but a lot of teams use the franchise tag to just get more time to be able to do contract talks. That's what happens most of the time.
We could have done it with DeMar.
We could have, but we would have still paid him way too much money.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
I just don't see like it'd be used much.
Yeah. No, I agree. The more I think of it, like the more it is you're going to run into stipulations where it's like in the NFL, you know what I mean? You can only be one position when you're a quarterback, and that's a quarterback. In the, you can only be one position when you're a running back, and that's a running back. But in the NBA, you can be a point guard, you can be a shooting guard, you can be a small forward, you can be a power forward. So who's to say like, all right, we're going to franchise you, and you're a small forward, but it's like, well, wait, I played power forward a majority of that season. You know what I mean? I'm listed as this, but or like the swingmen where they're listed as guards, but they play forward sometimes. Like that's alone where you'd find troubles. That's a job for people smarter than us 3 to decide. We just think of the scenarios. We put it into play. You do what you want with it.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm no scientist, man. I don't work in the NBA. I'm no scientist. So yeah, Q, thanks again for the question. That was an absolutely mind-boggling question. If you haven't voted on it yet, it'll still be open for another week. So go ahead and cast your vote. Let us know what you think. Fellas, before we close, All-Star voting is right around the corner for the W. And our girl Angel Reese is what, 7th in the ballot, Scott?
Yeah, but the All-Star this year is a little weird.
Ooh,
it's not a normal All-Star game. It's Team USA versus the WNBA.
What?
That makes sense.
Okay.
So it's the US Olympic team.
Yep.
Will be playing against the WNBA All-Star team. So
I feel like the voted All-Stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you actually look at the ballot, there will be stars next to certain players. Like,
I kind of like that. I like that.
Yeah. So it's different this year.
Dan, what do you think? You like that?
Yeah. I have to like see it and everything to.
Okay. Well, here, I'll give you a scenario because I just thought of something where it would benefit. Are the rosters finalized? Not obviously not the All-Star, but are the Olympic teams finalized to where you couldn't tweak them?
I think
yes, that team is that it's already done.
Okay, then never mind.
Well, the only question up in the air is Cam Brink. She made the Olympic team, but she recently tore her ACL.
Oh yeah,
she made the 3-on-3 team.
Yeah.
Oh, she tore her ACL. I'm sad
that was my thing is you could put these women against each other and then, based on what you see, you can plug in, pull and plug on the official roster. But if the rosters are finalized, I still think it's cool. The best of the best going up against the best of the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like it if the NBA did that?
Well, for the NBA, like majority of the men's roster are already all-stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what I'm saying?
like who would they play against? Like they would play against. So who's that? Like Devin Booker, LeBron James. So like I don't think Shea's on the roster. So it'd be Shea and a bunch
Shay's
of
on the Canadian
much-
roster.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
You're forgetting, yeah, there's some of the people on. See, that would be the only loophole is there are players on our team that play, but I mean, it's the Olympic team.
Yeah.
So
Why not just do? I don't know.
Scott, would you like in the NBA?
Well, you could do like a US versus like world. I know they've done that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting. The thing with the WNBA, there's not as many foreign players, so it works pretty well versus Team USA. But with men's basketball, 4 out of the top 5 best players are foreign players. So
Right.
I don't know how that would work.
I don't know. I mean, I would like, if you talk about our Olympic team, that's only going to be American players against the All-Stars who, like, Joel Embiid is going to be an All-Star. He's not going to be on the Olympic team. I think it'll be pretty good. You know what I mean?
Joel Embiid's on the Olympic team.
Not on ours. I thought he's Cameroon.
He's on our team. He actually should be in France's, but
Luka Doncic. My apologies.
He's on our U.S. team.
Okay.
Luka's
No,
not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. He's playing with Vooch over in Serbia.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you did something like that, like, I don't know, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, something needs to be changed with this all.
So,
Even Adam Silver's like, I don't think there's anything saving the All-Star game. Did you guys see that the other day where he's like, he doesn't know how he can save the All-Star game?
I still think they should do 3-on-3 tournament or something like that, or 2-on-2.
Do 3-on-3 and bring in outside people for the dunk contest, because one of the worst things about the All-Star weekend is the dunk contest.
It used to be the best.
It used to be the best.
Now it's trash.
Yeah, man,
I
wish
like people off the streets.
Yeah, Dan, go throw down some dunks, man. Sounds like you're volunteering.
These knees are worse than Derrick Rose's knees.
I don't know, man. Derrick Rose played. I would expect like Lonzo Ball or something.
There you go. These knees. Oh, I can stand up. So
yeah, you can make it up your stairs. By the way, Lonzo Ball.
I have a lot of stairs now.
We're just kidding, Lonzo. We love you. For now, until next year.
Until you're off the team. So they buy you out, and we buy out our fans.
Anyways, gentlemen, it's that sad part of the day where we bring the show to a close. Final thoughts, Dan Gracey, anything and everything. What do you got?
Final thoughts. Let's see. I'm happy about the Giddey trade. The more I sit on it, the more I, lean into the acceptance stage of the whole thing, and I like it more. Yeah, I got nothing, man. I like the Giddey trade. I'm looking forward to seeing more moves from this Bulls front office. It's about time to see them, stand up and get off their hands and actually do something with this roster. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a crazy offseason. I'm excited for a crazy offseason. Not with just the Bulls, with every team.
Yep.
And I'm also looking forward to the Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics.
Yeah.
Scott, final thoughts. What do you got?
Olympics start in a month. So
all right.
I think it's like a month from Wednesday they start.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna be
Scott, you're leaving.
I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks starting I think we're leaving Friday.
Wait, where are you going again? I know you told me, but
I'm going to the UK. We're going to Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. We're skipping England for some reason, but
while you're out there, go check out the meet up with the guys from the Sea Red Bulls podcast.
Oh yeah, meet up with the
Yeah, there you go. Do a little meetup sesh.
I'll see what I can do. I don't know what our plans are. My wife and her friend have everything planned out every day.
There you go.
I think a couple of the times where I get to do whatever I want, and my plan is to go to a bar and drink.
There you
I
go.
mean, that's a given. You have to go to a pub.
Yeah.
Have yourself a
Gonna say,
pint.
it's not a bar, it's a pub.
Have yourself a pint of ale. There you go. All right. Anyway,
Guinness.
that's going to do it for today's show from all of us here at the Horns Over Hoops studio. We thank you guys for tuning in. Go follow us on our Twitter, participate in our polls, buy our merch. Go denzelrange.com. Go buy our merch. We got some good stuff on there. We're about to be updating it soon. Go watch it. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. I mean, that's getting pretty fun. We do enjoy doing the video portion of it now. Subscribe to Q on the Let's Talk Bulls podcast. That man does incredible work. He's awesome to have on the show. We look forward to having him again and again. And if you would like to be a host or a guest on the Horns Over Hoops podcast for a day, give us a shout out. You know where to reach us. Email, DM, text message, live visit.
Slide on those DMs, baby.
Knock on my door. I don't care. Just ask me. We'll probably say yes. So, and help us get Denzel Valentine on the show.
God, that'd be great. That'd be hilarious if we get Denzel.
Yeah, I mean, I at least want to get noticed by Denzel. That's all.
Right.
But anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. We thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in, showing support, liking our stuff. Please continue to follow us, and please continue to have patience for this off season. We are going to make deals. It's just a matter of time. Be patient. What's the worst that happens? We fall out of the play-in, big whoop. But anyway, we thank you guys for tuning in. We encourage our Bulls fans, as always, to see red, go Bulls. And this is for my Italian friends personally. Forza Italia. We're getting our ass whooping European Cup, so we need all the help we can get. Forza Italia. But anyway, what do you got, Scott?
Italy's going to win the Euros again and then miss the World Cup, just like last time.
That's fine. I'll be fine with that. Whatever. The best teams are always in Europe anyway. But anyway, see red and go Bulls. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.